Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is B. Avery here. Another great epic episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. Guys, we are talking about X-Men 97, episodes 1 and 2, titled To Me, My X-Men, and Mutant Liberation Begins. Now, I want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap. I'm going to spoil these first two episodes, up, down, left, right, in, and out, as if you've already seen it. Thank you, Disney Plus. Thank you, Marvel, for giving me the opportunity to check out these two episodes early, or no, the first three episodes early. So I really do appreciate it. I will try to give you guys the same format for episode 3, but following after that, episode 4 all the way to 10, I will, or 8 at least, I will be going live that same day every Wednesday around 6:30 p.m. CST. So mark your calendars, subscribe if this is your first time here, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment of what you thought about the episode, my commentary, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. Now, going into this series, I was looking forward to it. I was a big fan of the X-Men series, the animated show back in the 90s. And I was just like, man, I wish that they really would have continued this series. And they did. Here we are now. And so I was pretty excited about it. However, I did have my doubts about the animation style when I did see the trailers. Yes, it did look new and fresh, but at the same time, things did look a bit choppy. Also, I was not a fan of Storm's hair with it being a mohawk, but a lot of people, and especially my friend, when I was said, well, hey, that's kind of how her hair looked in the comics, and so it is accurate. Still, that did not matter to me. I just really didn't like the style. However, after seeing these first two episodes that we're going to be talking about, it wasn't that bad. I actually liked it. It flowed, and I was able to swallow that pill and put all my words aside. It really didn't bother me. And the animation style, I'm still getting used to. And after I watched the first 2 and 3 episodes, I went back and watched the original. This animation, of course, does look newer and fresher, like I said, but I'm still having a hurdle of trying to get over it and accept it for what it is. But overall, guys, I really am enjoying the show so far. I enjoyed the first 3 episodes, and I really did enjoy the first 2 episodes as well, which we're talking about today and how those did connected. One of the things that does bother me, though, while I'm saying I really did enjoy the first 2 episodes, was Storm immediately leaving at the end of episode 2 when she lost her powers from the Executioner. First of all, this dude was badass. He had all of the weapons, all of the fighting skills, all of the tactics, all of that, for him to be able to just infiltrate this courthouse and do the X-Men in the way he did, the way he flipped off that wall and put a collar on Bishop's neck. I was like, whoa, are you a mutant yourself? This is crazy right here. But I like how Magneto did handle him towards the end. I can smite you in just one step. The old me would have done that, but I am trying to fulfill the dream that Professor Charles Francis Xavier left. And so I can't really have that mindset to where I can just fling away with you like you're nothing, like you're a fly or something like that. But that was just really cool to me. The way that Storm just left immediately after she lost her powers, I was like, okay, Beast said that he's going to work on this, okay? Oh my gosh, give him a chance. Why are you leaving all of a sudden so quickly? You're not even letting this man do his work. But I'm not going to make a big deal about that. But I was just kind of saying to myself, man, that was kind of quick. They didn't really express how long it was before she left, but I can just imagine no more than a few days, if that. But you guys let me know in the comment section if you do disagree or not. But going back to episode 1, I really did enjoy that, the way that things opened up. And I also just like the way things do pick up from where season 5 of the animated series from the 90s left off. It has now been around a year since Charles Xavier was murdered by Mr. Henry Gyrick, who is rotting away in prison right now for 25 years. But there are these evil people, these F out of here, these friends of humanity that have their hands on Sentinel technology, who is still being funded and operated by Mr. Bolivar Trask, which we saw is in the Sahara Desert. They got all these guns and gauntlets and have access to a giant Sentinel arm. And we have this new character, or at least in this show, we know who Sunspot is, played by Roberto Cortez, led of the Cortez family, the Fortune, if I'm saying his last name correctly. He's like, hey, I got all the money, I got all the power, I can let you guys off with a big ass check, okay? Just let me out of here. They're like, no, this is not about the money. We're trying to sustain our lives. And that's what the Friends of Humanity feel like mutants just want to take over. Yes, there are some mutants like that, but they know Charles and the X-Men are not like that. But this is where we get the introduction to Storm. She started out the series and she ended the series by leaving. And I just like her, hey, free the boy or you will feel my wrath. And she goes to work on them. Great character. She's also very strong because we know what she did in the Sahara Desert towards the end of this episode. So it was kind of smart for them to write the executioner as in taking her powers away, because she can pretty much do whatever she wants for the most part. I mean, you may catch her slipping sometimes, but for the most part, she can do whatever she wants. And so they had to kind of depower her so that she's just not able to, wreck shop through all these episodes. But, let me know if y'all agree or disagree with that or not. But I gotta say, one of the things I'm loving so far about all of this is the fight choreography. The way that they had Cyclops fighting with his concussion blast, the way that he was using that to propel him across the floor and maneuver around, that was dope as hell. I have no idea that this man could have done that before. I don't think I've ever seen Cyclops do that before. He's also known as like a martial artist and tactician and all that. And I like the way he moved. I like the way he fought, blocked, punched, and all of that. Again, I have never seen Cyclops like this before, and I thought it was dope. I thought that was just a great way for them to show all of his powers and abilities, and I want to see more of this. I like him as the leader. He was a bit annoying in the X-Men, the live action that 20th Century Fox did back in the 2000s. And he was kind of annoying in this as well, just kind of having a stick up his rear end. But at the same time, me putting myself in his shoes, I can completely understand where he's coming from. And so, he's really upset. He's distraught because Xavier is gone, or he perceives Xavier is gone. Is he really gone, or is he going to pop back up some other time? We're just going to have to see. But the way that they were showing Cyclops fighting in this first episode, I thought was super duper dope as hell. And I cannot wait to see more of this. Even towards the end, when the X-Men are going to the Sahara Desert, the way that Cyclops lands on ground without anybody saving him, without any parachutes or anything like that, with him not having the ability to fly, with him gaining control over his body, taking a deep breath and letting out all of that energy and blasting the ground to slow himself down. That was super dope. Cyclops is really coming through so far in these first two episodes, not only as a leader, but as somebody that can just blow your ass away, that can just fight their ass off. Even though I even like that shot where the Sentinel attacked them when they were in the X-Jet and he's looking up, there's a Sentinel, he's just blasting, killing the Sentinel. I just thought that was dope as hell. I love that. And of course, then that's when he lands. To me, my X-Men. Now, how are y'all feeling about Roberto, about Sunspot with the solar energy? I was a bit turned off initially, not by his character, he's cool, but by the story plot point, because I am just kind of over them using an X-Man that is not part of the family to introduce us to the world and the family. They did that with Jubilee in season 1. They also did that with Rogue in the live action X-Men movies by 20th Century Fox in the 2000s, 2004, 2006, 2007, with X2 United and Last Stand, and really just X-Men 2000. So they didn't really harp on that for the whole duration of the episode. But initially I was like, okay, can we get a new plot point to start things off? And how are y'all feeling about everything else as well? I kind of feel like the world is smaller and not as expanded as I want. Yes, this is only the first 2 episodes and I've seen 3. There's just so many characters that was not brought up. And that's kind of understandable. At the same time, this is just the first 2 or 3 episodes that we're watching. But we got so many episodes in the past with 5 seasons that it just seems like there should be many more X-Men, many more mutants that popped up on screen in these first few episodes or so. Now, we did get Leech and all of his friends that were in the sewers in episode 2. We also got Yuriko, who came and slashed the Executioner in the back during episode 2. So I may be jumping the gun just a little bit there, but again, guys, let me know what you think. I really, really am curious. I'm also glad that everything seems familiar as far as majority of the voices are concerned. It's been 23, 24 years since many of these characters or actors, entertainers, actresses have come back to voice these characters like Wolverine, Rogue, Beast, Storm, and Nightcrawler, which we didn't see Nightcrawler, but I did look that up, that these are some of the characters that are reprising their role. So I like the familiarity and all of that good stuff. You know, it just felt like I was right at home when I was watching this. Also, what made me feel that way is the intro song. It's the same song, but at the same time, they did upgrade it a little bit with the tone and also with just some of the imagery. This is one of the first times we have Magneto where he's on the screen by himself, other than at the end before he clashes, you know, with the Brotherhood, with Charles and the X-Men at the end when he's doing his power like this. In episode 2, they actually have the words Magneto pop up and he's controlling metal beams. We also have Bishop and Morph in the intro song as well. And so I kind of like that. I like the updating. All that is the same, but it's updated as well. And so that's just, you know, a great way to appeal to fans, in my opinion, and give the best of both worlds. Something that we knew that we grew up, you know, watching as kids for the most part, and some of us teenagers, but also, you know, just still, you know, helping us out as grown adults. Because I was watching the animated series when I was in 3rd grade, when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Now I'm about to be 40 and I'm still the same, you know, like I'm still entertained by all of this right here. Now, when it comes to Roberto, again, where he's escaping and all of that stuff at the very beginning of episode 1, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. But when they was in the club dancing, just some of the animation style was just a bit weird to me. I'm still trying to swallow it all, but it's just, I don't know. I'm going to get used to it. But let me know what you think. I don't know what the hell Gambit was wearing at the beginning of episode 1 with the halter top, with the muscle shirt that was cut. That just looked ridiculous to me, but hey, it is what it is, player. I don't like it. There's a saying, hey, if you like it, I love it. Not over here, not in this camera. I just thought that he looked ridiculous. But also Jean, she's pregnant now. She is about to have Scott's baby. They've been getting it in. They've been knocking the boots, and she is pregnant now. And so we're going to see how their son Nathan turns out. I wonder what's going to happen in episode 3. Wink, wink, wink. No, I'm just saying. Now, also we have Beast, of course. You know, I like Beast. You know, how can you not like Beast? You know, he's got that genius level intellect and all that stuff. But Jean is wanting to possibly leave the X-Men. She's like, you know, hey, we have been here for a long time. We were the first students when it comes to Charles, but we got to raise this boy and the team will be okay. And Cyclops doesn't want to leave. You know, he feels attached. He feels like it's part of his responsibility. And I don't blame him for that. I completely understand. You know, change is necessary sometimes in the world, whether it's on purpose or indirectly or an accident, you know, but I see both sides to this, and I don't want the team to split up. I want them to stay together as long as possible, excuse me. But, you know, we're going to see how that plays out as well. Wolverine is dope. I love seeing him getting charged up by Gambit towards the end of this episode. There's been a lot of speculation and debate online on how accurate that is. Really, none of it is. This is all fake fiction, but, you know, we can have fun. Some people are like, he should have blown up because, all the kinetic energy and he should have exploded because Gambit's power is to make things explode. Gambit does have the ability to determine if something is going to explode or not. I forgot exactly what season it was, but one time where Morph in the previous seasons, not this episode, where he was pretending to be Professor Xavier, Gambit was like, hey, there's something weird going on, and threw a card, charged it up, but it didn't explode. And so he has the power, he has the ability to stop that. And that's just one example. And so I noticed that when Wolverine was charged up, he had more energy. He has rapid healing. And of course, he has the adamantium. And so he's just pretty much indestructible, but it didn't really just it charged him up, but it made him faster as well. Go back and look at the episode. You will see when he was charged, he did speed up a bit. So I like that. It makes sense to me, at the very least in layman's term. And that whole fight sequence was dope as well. I really did enjoy that. Now, we also have Dr. Cooper, who is part of the UN. Her special division does take care of mutants. I like her for the most part. But in episode 2, man, when she showed up for Magneto, talking about, hey, we're here for Magneto against his crimes versus humanity, against humanity. And I'm just like, what are y'all going to do? Okay. She thought that she had one up on him, talking about, hey, all of our guns have been retrofitted to bypass your electrical and magnesium powers, magnetic powers. But he's like, woman, I can still control these helicopters, the vehicles that got you here. I can just throw these things into you and just make y'all rip up into 1 million pieces. And so that was really entertaining to me. I was like, come on now, you don't got nothing on Magneto. But I do like the way that he gave himself up. And it was like, hey, I will bow down. I will surrender if you guys give me a fair trial. I don't know about his outfit. I kind of like the old outfit more. This did seem a bit feminine, in my opinion. Besides the M on his chest, that was pretty cool. But I don't know about the sleeves and, I like seeing him muscular, but I don't know. It just kind of looked feminine to me. And Magneto is a very masculine character as far as his looks and appearance and the way he carries himself physically and all of that, But I liked the Dr. Cooper. She was cool. Magneto really didn't feel trusted by her at the very end of episode 2 when he was taken up at the sky because the executioner took out Storm. But, for the most part, she's cool. Also, we got to talk about, this seems like there has been a past relationship between Rogue and Magneto, what they've been doing, getting it on as well. I didn't know that they had some previous relationship, some previous secret romance. Was that in the comics? Because if so, I wasn't aware about it. I was not aware about it, but it seems like they still have some type of feelings for each other. Magneto was like, Rogue, sweetie, I want to be alone right now, but he was ready to take off that glove and get it in. And I'm not mad at that. And also, speaking about taking off the glove, I thought it was pretty cool how Rogue was able to siphon the powers, or the knowledge at least, from the doctor, from the surgeon, and deliver Jean's baby. That was pretty cool as well. I really did like that. And then speak of it, the way the episode ended, the cliffhanger was, Jean, there's another Jean. What's going on? Which one is the real Jean? Which one is the fake Jean? Are we dealing with some clones or something like that? What is going on? Now, the dialogue at the end could have been better. She's like, I need the X-Men. It would have made sense if she was like, guys, friends, family, or Scott, where's Scott? But she was asking like, I need to see the X-Men, like she doesn't know who they are. Of course, they're going to explain more of that in episode 3, but that was just a bit weird to me. Now, going back to Roberto Sunspot, do y'all think that he's tripping how he did not want to stay with the X-Men more, or at least show them his powers? I kind of like that he didn't. He just didn't want to attach himself to this group of people like, whoa, me being X-Men, I don't even want to be myself. If he would have just joined the team immediately, that would have been boring as hell, in my opinion. So I'm glad that he was a bit cautious, a bit skeptical, about joining and just opening up. And it just seems like a bit, more realistic, because he's not like a child. He's not like a grown man either, but he has some knowledge, some wisdom on how the real world works. And so that was acceptable to me. So, I'm not going to make too big of a deal out of that. But I really do like, of course, how this is just an allegory of racism and prejudice in the real world with the X-Men representing Black people and people of color. Always it's been that Charles Xavier was Martin Luther King and Magneto was always Malcolm X. I really do love that. You know, that's all over this. It's always been that way. I've heard people complain like X-Men 97 is going to deal with politics and this and that. It's always been that way since the beginning, not just the movies, not just with the X-Men, the animated series, from the comics from the very beginning. And you can still see all of that. So people complaining about wokeism and stuff, because I've heard those little gripes as well. That really doesn't make sense to me at all, because it's always been that way from the beginning, from the inception. And so I'm still loving it for that reason. It's very, very relatable in my opinion. And the reason why I brought that up is I just want to talk about Henry Gyrick for a second. He is so hateful, and that is the exact way that so many people are in life, in real life. Magneto at the end of episode 2 or towards the end, he was like, how much do we need to do for you guys to like or approve us? And I can relate to that wholeheartedly as a Black man. Like, how much do we have to do to be accepted and treated like, you know, fair citizens? And, you know, I've heard some bigots try to make the remark like, what can Black people not do today that they couldn't do a long time ago? You can do, no, we still are economically deprived. You know, I can go down the list. It's just ridiculous. But, you know, I'm not going to do all of that. But that just made me think about that when, you know, Gyrick came up in the episode. This guy is rotting in jail for 25 years for murdering Charles Xavier, and he still has no remorse. You know, he still is not sorry. He's like, hey, I'm doing what I can do for my people. We're trying to survive. Bottle for Trash is also talking about, you don't know how it feels to be left behind from the future, you know, and it's ridiculous. To speak about the future, you know, Bishop is pretty cool as well. I don't know much about his character, but, you know, he can absorb all that energy and release it. So, you know, I really am enjoying the show, guys. I really am. But I really am happy with the decision that Charles Xavier made to give all of the resources, the mansion, everything over to Mr. Magneto, Eric Lehnsherr. I think that's a dope ass plot point. I think that's a great way to bring in fans and just something that we weren't expecting, or at least I wasn't. So I'm really looking forward to everything. And I really did enjoy these first 2 episodes, besides the little gripes that I made here and there. But guys, those are my thoughts for the first 2 episodes. Let me know your thoughts as well about my commentary. Also about the episodes themselves. If you liked the video, please leave a comment, thumbs up, and subscribe if this is your first time here. Just to let you guys know, I'm about 150 subscribers away from hitting 50,000 subscribers. So let me do that. And I don't know, I may go live as well. It just depends, but we'll see. Let me know in the comment section if you would like for me to do that as well. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace, and I'll see you next time.